Good morning and welcome to the very first Tamebay Live. Delighted to welcome everyone today. We've got a full packed week for you. I just want to say it's an absolute delight to have you here today. And we've got a brilliant platform to help you with networking and learning throughout the week. So first of all, in the breaks, don't forget to make use of the networking areas on the Totem platform, such as the coffee tables where you can go out and meet with friends. And if anyone wants to join me for a beer at the end of each day, then I'll be at the meeting table there. We've got a packed agenda. Today, we start off with Helen Parker from the Supplier Central. Make money selling online and how and where to source stock that will work for you, followed by Mark and Ellen from eBay, who are going to talk about how to stand out from the crowd with promoted listings, and then Chris Cook from OptiSeller, listing best practices. Whilst on the retailers and brand stage, Richard from eDesk is going to join us to talk about how to build brand equity without owning the customer relationship. And then Jagger from Ordero will be talking about best practices for streamlining your e-commerce operations. Now, importantly, thrilled to say that in each session, speakers will be taking questions. So when you look at the stage at the bottom, there's a submit a question function. If you've got a question for any of our speakers, please submit your question and we'll get through as many of them as we can at the end of each session. Don't forget to visit the presenting partners showcases where you can meet with representatives from all of the speakers' companies and the speakers themselves today. Make contact. If you want to find out more about what they were talking about, they'll be delighted to help you. If you want to find out about their services, they'll be delighted to help you as well. And the Totem platform is going to be open for an hour following the event to allow additional time for networking. So again, make sure you go and see the speakers and partners showcases. Drop into it's called the Hub for networking, where you'll find the coffee tables where you can sit down with friends or colleagues and meet new people. Now, I'm delighted today to introduce our co-hosts for the day, Martin and Bram from Hurricane. Martin is CEO and chairman of Hurricane Commerce, one of the 6 founders of the business, which has been running till 2016, which is enabling cross-border e-commerce businesses to achieve growth and compliance through their technology, which includes data enhancement, duty and tax calculation, denied party screening, and prohibited and restricted goods streaming. Couldn't be more topical at the moment. And Bram is a technology specialist who's responsible for mapping out and delivering Hurricane solutions for merchants, marketplaces, and platforms. He was a key member behind the successful launch for the Hurricane extension on the Magento marketplace earlier this year. So welcome, Martin. Welcome, Bram.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Chris. Absolutely delighted to be here and to co-host today. And I think, the theme of the whole event over the next preceding days, back to basics, that's exactly where we are. There's a lot of media hype around Brexit and VAT changes in Europe and compliance changes in North America. So if you're trading overseas, it's a huge opportunity. But it's also very complex, and back to basics is absolutely what Hurricane's about. And we simplify the complex through data, through technology to enable businesses of all sizes to trade with clients overseas.
And I believe you're coming back to us on Thursday for a masterclass to deliver a masterclass yourself.
Yeah, a little bit Hunter turn gamekeeper. So co-hosting the day today, helping the Helen, Mark, Ellen, and Chris through their really interesting presentations, which we've had some prelude to. And then on Thursday, I'm on stage and presenting the complexities of complexities of data in the modern world, but showing some really best practices to actually make that very, very simple in trading overseas and with third countries.
Fantastic. So if you're watching some of the presentations today, as I say, don't forget to submit your questions, because they will be going to Martin and Bram to put to our speakers today. So we want this to be as useful as possible. It's a learning experience, hopefully, for everyone. We've actually got some fantastic speakers throughout the week. Bram, what are you particularly looking forward to from the week?
That's a good question. Well, what I'm particularly interested in is any best practices that kind of go around our particular job, to see what best practices are for people besides, of course, getting your data right, and how everything fits around it.
Fantastic. Well, we've split the week into 5 theme days, and today is all about back to basics. But when we say basics, this isn't going down to the real basics of how to open an eBay account and how to start a business. All of the sessions today are intended for people that are already running successful businesses, and just to take a look at the basics of your business, the nuts and bolts and mechanics, and make sure everything is running as smoothly and as efficiently as possible. But then we'll be looking at different topics throughout the week. So, for instance, we've got a day on brands. So if you own a brand, or if you'd like to build a brand, that'll be coming later in the week, and cross-border, and then growing your business off marketplaces. So we've got an absolutely packed agenda for the week. And I'd just like to take a moment to say thank you to everyone that's made it possible. People like Martin and Bram, who are helping us co-host, all of our sponsors, and especially to eBay, our title sponsor. And as I say, during the week, please do take time to go and see their showcases and network with the sponsors. They've all given their time this week for you, for our Tamebay readers. And there are an awful lot of specialists. I don't want to name drop, but we've got people from many of the biggest names in e-commerce this week. So looking forward to the week. And we've got 2 stages. So on one stage, we've called it the merchant stage. The other we've called the retailers and brand stage. But you are very welcome to attend sessions on both stages. The real differentiator is the merchant stage is largely intended for businesses who own their own business entirely, so they can make a decision on absolutely anything to do with their business. Whereas the retailers and brand stage will focus much more on businesses where your marketplace operations might be a smaller part of a much larger business. So obviously you may be more limited on the decisions you can make, because you can't, for instance, change your warehousing or fulfillment if the larger business doesn't want to make that change. So different sets of challenges, and we're going to be addressing sessions on both stages directly for those different challenges. But if, for instance, you're a merchant and you own your own business, but you're building a brand, there's some brilliant sessions on the retailers and brand stage for people to learn how to manage their brand on marketplaces and grow it and build it for the future. On the other hand, if you're a brand and you're selling on marketplaces and you want to get more into the nuts and bolts of actually running the merchant side of your business, don't be afraid to hop over to the merchant stage if there's a session there that you want to see. So an exciting day. Martin, Bram, are you up for it? Are you ready, Martin?
Absolutely.
Yeah, no, we're up and ready for it, and yeah, we've had myself, Chris, as you know, had a couple of cups of coffee, so I'm well and truly up for it, and looking forward to some really engaging content. But I think, you know, the other side of this is that the audience makes a huge part in these types of events, particularly in the way that questions get answered. And you know what I particularly like about this whole event is that engagement and that opportunity for businesses, large and small, brands, merchants, to be able to ask those detailed questions. Because sometimes these events sometimes pitch it a little bit strategically, and this whole event is how do I check, how do I engage, how do I make money?
Exactly, and that's exactly why we've got this superb platform for networking, because if you've got more in-depth questions and there's someone you really want to speak to, you can see who's logged on live, you can go to the showcases from our sponsors, and you can actually connect with them and make those connections for deeper challenges. And by the way, on the platform, it's not just a chat platform. When you're in the networking room, you can video conference with anyone else who is live on Tamebay Live today. So you can actually video conference, you can share your screens with anyone. So if you want to sit down and chat with a mate, you can. All of the delegates, sponsors and speakers, if they're live on the platform, please you use the opportunity to make connections with them. So explore the platform, make use of the networking areas. Don't forget, if you want to speak, if you have a question for a speaker, you can actually submit it live through the platform. At the bottom of this screen that you're watching, you'll see a submit a question box. You can put your question in there, don't worry. No one else will be able to see what you're asking, but we'll put as many of those questions as we can to our speakers at the end of each session. So I think we're almost ready for starting the day. We've got a really exciting agenda lined up for you this week. And as I say, today we've got Helen coming up in a moment on the merchant stage, and then Richard on the retailers and brand stage, Helen talking about wholesaling, Richard talking about brand equity. So get set for those sessions. And now I'm absolutely delighted to introduce our title sponsor, eBay, and Murray Lamble, who is eBay Vice President and UK General Manager. So a huge round of applause, a virtual round of applause. Welcome, Murray Lamble.